What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Links, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods that have been pretty darn good here over the last couple weeks. Actually, the last couple months, especially in the like department. Locks, still batting the 500. I just can't get over the threshold there. If I just turn my likes into locks, we would be up $1 bazillion and life would be fantastic. But we're still up. And Jock Peterson, oh, those cowards, those absolute cowards. I'm not sure if you guys watched those last couple of bats, but the single, he had to reach way out of the zone, wasn't even legitimately close. And then they walked him like the cowards that they are. Could have had two double dong situations. One to start off Monday. That was a ridiculous one with Kyle Schwarber. And then Friday, I really wanted that second one from Jock, but hopefully you jumped on the first one. And then overall, I recapped some of that over on X. Just really good stuff overall. It's always nice when I'm able to recap the day after because, Saturday's my general day off. Sundays kind of here or there, depends on what else is going on. But I can tell you Monday, it's going to be crazy for me. I'll be here on the Odd Chopper channel, just like I always am, the Odd Chopper YouTube channel. But I'm also going to be on Kyle Kerm's show. Yeah, if you guys watch The Sauce, I'm excited to be bringing that to you at 4 p.m. Eastern time. First time dropping by with him. Another guy that I would say is really darn sharp here in the YouTube streets. Always enjoy his content. If you do too, come check us out over on the Sauce Network. That's going to be good stuff. Looking forward to that one. And then also, we'll be back on Playback. It'll be on Playback tomorrow as well, covering everything with Eitan Shander. You know him, you love him here on the Odd Chopper channel. But that does it for a lot of recaps coming into today. It is Monday. We got 12 games. A lot of games here for Monday. Producer Jacob was pretty darn excited about it. I can tell you that much. He's also excited about BetMGM. He's also excited about Odd Chopper per usual. So, Producer Jacob, without further ado, let's get to the picks. No locks on the card because there's nothing with that 5, 6, 7% threshold expected ROI that I have, but I do have a lot of likes that exist on the card. That is for sure. And I would say more money lines than I typically have had in the last week, 2 weeks, but they are currently hitting at a 64% clip in the like department. I like that. And obviously, win percentage doesn't matter to me as much, especially if you're taking dogs, especially in that kind of a fashion. But this is about as standard of a play as you're running into. Minus 110, minus 106 here. Baltimore, red hot, calling up Heston Kjerstad, so he'll be back up with the Big League Ball Club here on Monday for the Baltimore Orioles. They lose one game on Sunday, and they decide, we got to blow it up after winning a series against Houston. Well, actually, no, they ended up losing their last two. They scored 11 runs and lost on Saturday. It was Friday. Friday it was. And they won Saturday. Then their last Sunday. The Yankees won. That's still so tilting. Anywho, Tanner Bybee, he's not been tilting. He's been fantastic. And then Cade Povich, again, I got to look up. It takes me 2 seconds to Google. Is he related to Maury Povich? I just want to know these things. But anyway, Tanner Bybee's been incredible. 29.4% K rate, 35.2% hard hit. Man, has he improved since the beginning of the season. That's why you don't want to read into too much stuff happening in the early going of the season. However, there is one thing that freaks me out from making this a lock. It's the only thing stopping this from being a lock because he's a lefty pitching in Baltimore. Generally, that's really good. You also have Cade Povich, who we're accumulating sample size on. Not ideal there, but I think the one thing is the fastball is still somewhat hittable by Tanner Bybee. He's got first percentile fastball run value that exists on this pitch, 23.2% whiff percentage, but it is a 331 batting average against with a 303 expected batting average against. That's not very good. And this is a Baltimore team that kind of feasts on the fastball. So, yeah, despite the fact that Bybee's been incredible, and we're going to like Cleveland, a team that's just been hitting pretty darn well themselves from the left side. Steven, stop looking at me, Quan. He's just smashing fools. So, Tanner Bybee, we're going to back him here on the money line with the Cleveland side at minus 110. Yeah, and these are the kind of things, if you're hitting a 60% win percentage on minus 110 in the NFL, when you're talking spreads and stuff, you're profitable. Those are enjoyable things. Let's keep this going. Good start to the card. Cleveland money line. Also have under 8.5 on the radar, but it's 85 there. Kind of on the cusp. Not really looking to play it. We got the Phillies. We got them visiting the Tigers here. And yet another spot that I like. This was actually the first spot that I ended up betting today. Going to Comerica. It is 82 degrees, but the wind blowing in ever so slightly as opposed to that out to left. And we saw Detroit just go ballistic. All you had to do was hit a fly ball to left field. They did a lot of that against Camden on Sunday. Of course, the guys that I did bet, they didn't go yard, except for Riley Green. Thanks, Riley Green. Other idiots like Zach McKinstry and Colt Keith and whatever. Aaron Nola and Casey Mize, we are going to be backing the Aaron Nola side. And again, minus 166 doesn't sound like value over on FanDuel, but it absolutely 100% is when minus 180 is the prevailing number everywhere else. That is the market-based approach. It can be as simple as that sometimes, where there's one outlier book and you don't agree with the line, and it should be minus 180, considering this is Casey Mize, who's not very good. This is Aaron Nola, who's been very good. This Philadelphia team is fantastic over and over and over again. So back them. This is just so wild, friends. 3 games to start off the slate and 3 consecutive money line plays for me. It is a little bit strange that they're the favorites, but they're ever so slight favorites, except for the Philadelphia money line one, which, again, is my favorite of the 3. And some people don't want to call it value, considering they are the favored minus 166, but it should be minus 180 and up. Anywho, Brian Woo. Taj Bradley on the other side of this one. We are in Tampa. It's always funny whenever I look at the weather in Tampa because it doesn't apply. It just automatically populates on my Excel spreadsheet. It's funny because we know Tropicana. It's a dome. It doesn't matter, but yet the weather populates, and it just always makes me chuckle. So raining in Tampa, but it doesn't matter to this ball game. It will be just fine. Brian Woo, friends, and Taj Bradley. Woo has been incredible. The strikeout stuff isn't bouncing back right now, but I don't really care. Sub 2% barrel percentage is dumb through 107 batted ball events. 230 expected WOBA is dumb ever. I mean, this is absurd what we're seeing. And Taj Bradley has the strikeout stuff around 29%. Everything else was always questionable. 13.8% barrel percentage, 44% hard hit. It was strange to see Tampa Bay try to protect him last season, send him back down to work on stuff because he pitched really well in his first couple getting called up. But we're going to be attacking him here, even with Seattle. Now, Seattle, maybe you take a look at the Taj Bradley K ladder. Maybe you take a little gander at it. But for the most part, I like the half unit on the Seattle money line, considering Woo been incredible. Looked at the first 5, didn't look as appealing to me. I think I'm just going to be backing Seattle. I think they're the better team at the moment. And Tampa, they're starting to get guys like a Rosarena. 318 xWOBA looks way better than what it was 2-3 weeks ago. Had a pretty good stint in Minnesota. Pretty good stint here over the last week and a half. But as I'm looking at it tomorrow, minus 120, straight enough play. Yet another money line. Good stuff. 3 plays to start it off. I feel really good about it. Cincinnati, Bailey Falter, and then the Spears character, Spires. Again, I watched a couple of interviews, tried to understand exactly how to say his name, so I'm sure a Cincinnati fan somewhere is going to correct me on Carson Spears, but 34.2% hard hit. All of his interviews talked about how he likes to be throwing into the zone a lot, and he's like, I judge, weak contact and inducing that, and being able to generate swings and misses on pitches in the zone. Well, he's kind of proving all of that to be true. Only an 18.9% K rate, but a sub 5% walk rate, 34.2% hard hit. Pretty good stuff, and that's the way you need to survive in Great American Small Park. Bailey Falter is not going to be able to survive in a lot of these spots. 354 xWOBA, 490 expected slugging, 16.5% K rate. I think this is definitely going to be a spot if you had to be picking towards the Cincinnati side of things. Spears, we're kind of gathering sample size on. Pittsburgh, this is a little bit surprising that Cincy wasn't popping on my card, but I have currently the best at over 9.5 considering the pitching matchup. Jury's still out on Spears, and Spires are, I don't know. He seems like a lovely fellow, actually, his interviews. Over 9.5, just a lean. Cincy money line, I might have to revisit tomorrow. We'll revisit this anytime, friends. Odd Shopper, this is where I hang out, the premium Discord. These are the tools I use, the OS premium tools. Why don't you get both for $14.95, $49.95 for the month if you want to join right now, and you use promo code Lindy, bang, 20% off. Get all of it for $12 for your first week. Come get my premium betting card, talking through the bets Monday through Friday, giving you all of the goods, helping you as much as I humanly possibly can on a weekly basis. Throwing a home run round robin on Sunday for the hell of it. Didn't end up hitting because, of course, it didn't. But we have infinite amount of funds on the old round robin streets from earlier this season. Hit that old 50-1. We got plenty of ammo sitting there in the round robin streets coming up soon. I think I might be firing some of those up on Fridays with Lofty in the premium Discord. So come hang out. The water's warm. Promo code Lindy. Good stuff at the link below. Back to the picks we go. I'm a little bit surprised that we don't have a Toronto starter, like an official Toronto starter, considering I think it just matches up to be Chris Bassett's day. 3.52 ERA, 1.41 whip. He pitched on the 18th. That would be, 6 days rest? He had 6 days rest, 5 days rest coming in. it's every sixth day that he's pitching. But Milwaukee, Boston, into this one, I think it sets up to be him against Tanner Houck. But sometimes Toronto, they're trying to play the pitching matchup. Oh, we'll punt this one. Oh, we'll play our best guy there. I think you're just putting Chris Bassitt out there against Tanner Houck. And Houck has been really, really nice. Been really, really good. Been really, really enjoyable to watch. He does have a 4.8% barrel percentage, which is lovely. A 24.2% K rate. That's nifty. Even a 54.6% ground ball percentage. Everything across the board for him has been very nifty and darling. And I don't know, how many words can I use to describe it? But minus 142, if it's going to be Chris Bassitt on the other side, he's been good. It's not that Bassitt's somebody we've been going out of our way to pick on. 386 expected slugging, 36.6% hard hit. So I'm going to wait on the pitching matchup and revisit this one later. But assuming that it's Bassitt, these look perfect total considering Boston in the ballpark, and just stay away from this game altogether more than likely. But Boston money line, simply because if Houck gets some gas can, this would be a phenomenal number to jump in on. But if it's Bassitt, we're just going to stay away. Only one home run play that exists on the board for me early on here, just based on what I presume the numbers will be. Again, for those who are joining in late and want to understand, oh, I heard you hit 2 home runs with Kyle Schwarber last Monday. Oh, Jock Peterson goes yard on Friday, and I never play your home runs play because I never know if you're serious or not. I literally give you a break-even number. It's based on the last 10 games. I adjust it for the ballpark, and I kind of get you a projected number. I always say it whenever I'm describing the home run plays, because again, I have a process for this after doing it for 3 years. And well, the home runs have been my most profitable thing over the course of those 3 years until I would say the first couple of months this year with the dead ball. We really, really reacted to that. That's why you don't want to go crazy early season MLB. That dead ball effect can be so major. Now, the numbers have started to come up. We're starting to see weather change throughout the entire Midwest and East, where you're seeing heat for the first time in a long time. And well, wouldn't you know it, St. Louis, this is the crowning example of that. It is a different ballpark in the summer at Busch Stadium when it's 93 at first pitch with 50% humidity. Oh my goodness. It is so hot. It's like one of those rapper girls' boyfriends. Rapper guys' girlfriends. Whatever. Schwallenbach, sweaty balls. Anyway, Lance Lynn on the other side. Schwallenbach, we're still accumulating sample size on him too. I know that that's like my buzzword every time I say that. An angel loses its wings probably, but Spencer Schwellenbeck, 42.2% hard hit, 373 expected slugging, only a 20.4% K rate, but Alec Burleson starting to smash baseballs. Brendan Donovan starting to smash baseballs. I'm not sure if we get the same numbers there, but one guy that is just popping on the page and has to be pointed out is Marcell Ozuna, 645 expected slugging, 433 xWOBA. I've got this at a break even of plus 285. Because of the hitting conditions. I bet we get better than plus 300 here, and maybe even upwards of like plus 350, plus 360. This is probably like a near guarantee that it'll be on the card for tomorrow. Again, it's one of those things that still gets the lean attached to it because it doesn't have an official number there. And I made the rules, and the rules are just to protect you and make sure that I'm not talking out of my a-hole ever. So Marcell Ozuna, home run. If you want to know if it officially makes the card or not, hit me up at Eric Lindquist over on X or in the premium Discord. That is for sure where I will be responding to you. We've got an amazing pitching matchup here in this one. James Paxton, southpaw, actually pitched well the last two, up against Garrett Crochet. And this is like when, what is it? The force meets an object, the saying, my brain shut off. Don't mind me. Garrett Crochet really good at pitching. Dodgers really good at hitting. Shohei Ohtani left on left. Going to be a fun one to watch. He should win the MVP as a DH right now, and I don't really feel bad saying it. But Garrett Crochet, friends, oh my Lanta, has he been outrageous. Now, he's been helping us in the K departments. We climbed that ladder, although kind of cursed him. He fell onto, 8, and then didn't get that 9th when I was like guaranteeing he was going to get up to 10 in the Discord and things of that nature. Oopsie. But Garrett Crochet, I'm very excited to watch this pitching matchup. And I'm actually going to be paying close attention to this first 5 and seeing if there's any fluctuations, mainly because Paxton, I think some of the stuff has improved. He went to Colorado and 8 strikeouts there, pitched really well around Texas, only the 2 hits there in that one. I would call that even a better outing just because of the matchup specifically and how bad he had struggled until then. And the White Sox, we know that they just don't have a ton of ammunition. They do have Eloy Jimenez back. So for whatever that's worth, I mean, it's worth something. He's a nice guy. He's a fun guy. He likes the game of basketball. 84 WRC plus here for a southpaw. Also my Kawhi. It's pretty good. But Chicago, first 5 money line. I'm calling it a lean like mainly because at the current number, like a plus 120, I think it's in play. But I want to see if we can wait around for that plus 125, plus 130 potential there. Sit, wait, wish. Fingers crossed. Also, I kind of like to see the White Sox lineup because there's some iterations of it that I do prefer against Paxton. Just give me all the righties and all the land. Also, Eloy got dinged up today with that hamstring, so we're going to be paying close attention to how this lineup pans out. Don't have a ton here. Munoz, Reagans, minus 240 to back Cole Reagans today. He's pretty good at pitching, and Munoz is absolutely a disaster. 50% hard hit, 580 expected slugging, 11% walk rate, 16% barrel percentage, only a 34% ground ball percentage, going up against a bunch of power. Bobby Witt, Sal Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, Mikel Garcia. Hey, the AL Central, not as dog doo-doo as it's been in the past. So Cole Reagans, pay attention to the K props, pay attention to everything there, but I'm just making Kansas City on the run line a lean, minus 118. It's more than 120-cent difference, but it's a home team on the run line. You always have to deal with that 9th inning questionableness, and also Munoz, it doesn't go well early. Miami, just unleash the bullpen here early. It's such a dicey spot for me. I think Kansas City closer to a play than it should appear, but probably going to be a pass for me. I'll look at props. And I like this one, friends. We got the Texas Rangers, Michael Lorenzen going up against Freddie Peralta in this one. Probably my favorite of the run lines that exists here on the board for today. Now, it's pretty similar to what we just talked about, but a little bit different all the same. We're getting plus money here going towards the Milwaukee Brewers side here. And I think that that's a little bit surprising considering the pedigree. I mean, plus 126 over on FanDuel right now, the pedigree that we have of one Freddie Peralta, fastball Freddie. He ran into some tough times last couple of outings, but the velocity didn't really go anywhere. And now Michael Lorenzen finally seeing some regression on that ERA. 3 ERA, 4.70 expected ERA. He has been running better than just about any pitcher on planet Earth over the last couple. So Freddie Peralta, 31% K rate, 35.5% hard hit. I mean, this is nice. So if you want to know the main thing, last one, Kansas City, you're still putting minus money in front of it because, well, you're trying to pick on the Miami lineup at the same time. For me in this one, Texas, Milwaukee, I see no reason that you wouldn't be firing up the run line here for the home team. Plus 126. I understand Texas with Josh Smith hitting third and looking pretty decent, with White Langford starting to come alive for them as well. I still think Milwaukee top 5 in WRC plus against righties. It just is what it is, friends. At some point, a spade's a spade, and you got to call it what it is. Milwaukee on the run line, my favorite play of the run lines that exist here, of the ones that I've thrown out there, the Kansas City one. Looking at it just depends. Cincinnati's one that's kind of on the outside looking in, purely because of the 9.5 total. But this is a 9.5. Well, this is actually not a 9.5 total. This is 8. So there's that. 8. Good talk. Glad we had it. Let's talk BetMGM. First bet safety net up to $1,500, friends. Get your bonus bets if your first bet loses. If you go to the link below, fire it up. Great opportunity to get in with the goods. You simply sign up for BetMGM. You bet $25 or more on anything, up to 1,500 smackaroos. And if your bet wins, you keep the monies. The monies is nice. But if you lose, you get bonus bets back on that money. Great opportunity to take a big swing at something, my friends. Only for 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. We got Luis Medina, Funky Cole Medina, going up against Mr. Griffin Canning. And oh, friends, I only had the one home run play, but I am so excited to take lefties up against Griffin Canning in a great ballpark. One thing that happens, and it's not that books don't know this too, but Oakland, they have a pretty terrible ballpark to hit on a day in, day out basis. They just had 14 strikeouts going up against them from Pablo Lopez, 4 kids. And I got to take all of that ass to showbiz. Okay, get your kids. We're going to Anaheim, going to go to Disneyland, going to have a good time. And now we're going to head to the bottom of the slate. And then we're going to make some money. I'm done. I didn't have any of that written. Producer Jacob's just looking at me like I'm a psycho. I love crazy. Anyway, we've got Mr. Griffin Canning on the mound. And look at this, my friends. A 225 expected ISO against lefties. Oh, yeah. There's two lefties that I think base props look awfully nice in a great hitting park like Anaheim. You can maybe look at the home run markets, but I think that might be a little bit of a stretch here just with both of them. I like JJ Bleday, folks. Bleday, folks. And then we've got Tyler Soderstrom. Both of these guys more than in play for me against Griffin Canning. I repeat, a 225 expected ISO against lefties, 255 actual ISO. Soderstrom, 538 expected slugging with a 55.4% hard hit. And JJ Bleday, not as much hard hit, 37.1%, but 451 expected slugging, 266 expected batting average. Think both the lefties to get you 2+ bases. That'll pay you a pretty penny, won't it? It will. It actually will. 2 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bells. We head to Washington and San Diego. And something I didn't talk about with the Cole Reagan spot because I wanted to save it for here. Because again, I like to explain the process and talk through it. One thing that's happened a lot in the premium Discord, when you have a favorite that you do like, that's hefty like this, is looking at the pitcher to record a win. Now, we all know that the requirement for recording a win is 5 innings pitched. You got to make it 5 innings. But in San Diego with Matt Waldron on the mound going up against Patrick Corbin, as opposed to going to the first 5 where it's still pretty juiced, I like the idea of just backing Waldron to have an awesome outing and hoping the Padres just don't do their stupid stuff that they do against some inferior opponents from time to time. Now, San Diego's been better against righties. A lot of that has to do with the lefties, Jake Cronenworth and Jackson Merrill. You put a lefty up there, well, they're still okay, but it's just not going to look as well. And Fernando Tatis dinged up. He got hit with a pitch. It's a tricep muscle. Pay attention to his status for this one. I think that's why I'm going to just wait on this one too. But I think we're going to get something better than -150, -160. That trims this down quite a bit. Potentially Matt Waldron to record a win. I'm also going to look at it from the Reagan's perspective. Again, that Kansas City run line is one thing, but potentially having to record the win on both of those sides, again, it gets closer to that -110, -120 number than you might think in some of these spots. So do a little digging. DraftKings is generally where a lot of those get posted first. I will be paying attention to them. If this interests you, it interests me. It interests me. It interests you. Good stuff. Of course, the Cubs and Giants have no idea what they're doing, and the Giants never go a pitcher at a time. LOL. Let's get out of here. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for Monday. We got a 12-gamer. It's all baseball on Monday, baby. All baseball. Yeah, the WNBL, pay attention to that from time to time here. I'm also going to be dabbling in a little bit of the PGA here going forward. Pay attention. Well, I mean, going forward, I cover PGA all the time, but specifically potentially doing video content here on Odd Shopper in some capacity, be it shorts, long form. Pay attention to that as well, because golf betting, one of my favorite forms of betting for sure. If you enjoy that one, always ask me questions about it. I'm always firing up my plays for the people. But anywho, head to that premium Discord. We're going to talk baseball. Going to be awesome times. And again, I'll be on the Sauce Network talking with Kyle Kearns. If you guys enjoy his stuff, which you should definitely check out and hit subscribe on his channel, check us out at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.